going to do today is I'm going to show you a classic cut of chicken for saute. And this is breaking down a whole chicken into pieces where I take the legs and the breasts off and so on, where we would use it for something like a casserole or a stew. So there is bone in this as well. But what I want to tell you about first is, because you'll be doing your poultry unit at college, is it's okay taking a chicken. How do you know it's a good chicken? How do you know it's good quality? So what we need to do is we need to look for some points within this chicken and say, yep, this is ready to prepare, this is safe to use. As you can fully see, I have a red chopping board. Red, colour coded, prevent that cross contamination. We should always use that for raw meat and poultry. When you look at the chicken, and we're using a fresh chicken today, some of the things that I'm going to be looking for is, one, that the skin is dry to touch. That proves it's a lovely fresh chicken. We look at the temperature. It should be between 1 and 5 degrees. So if they're ever delivered to your workplace and you're working in the industry, that's the kind of thing that you should be looking for. This is a high risk food. So most definitely the temperature has got to be right as well. And most definitely one thing is smell. If you're getting any poor odors coming off a whole chicken, then obviously check with your chef first before you do anything with it, but it must be reported. Okay, check the cavity as well. Some places will have maybe the giblets, the innards, the neck and so on inside. Take those out. And also if there's any debris still left in there where it has been gutted as well. That is so important. So what I'm going to do is now I'm just going to show you literally how to break down this chicken and cut it up for saute. And what we'll do is first we will take the legs off. To be able to take the legs off, what we've got is we've got this skin here. We need to be able to make an incision there and just break that skin, just cut it. From there, we turn the chicken on its side, and what we need to do is hold it here and just pull that back, and what will happen is you will see here the joint, that bone, just pop out of its socket, okay? From there, what we need to do is if you look at the back of this chicken, there's a slight lump there. That is a beautiful sweet piece of chicken there. It's called the oyster. So as we take our knife along the side, we cut through that oyster just there, that roundness there, and then pull it back. And what we can do is just run the knife along there and just take that leg off. And we'll place that on that tray there just for the moment. And we'll do exactly the same the other side. So find that skin where that gap is, take your knife, make a small incision, turn the chicken over, hold it down. What we're going to do is then just pop that out. As you can see, there it is, it's just popped out. That oyster again is here, so we take the knife round, because we want to get the maximum yield out of this. We don't want to leave any meat on it. Okay, and as we do that, we're there, and we take that leg off. And on that leg, what we'll do is we'll break that down in a minute and trim it up. I just want to show you that. We have the wings. As you can see, the chicken doesn't fly or very far because the wings are so tiny. What I'm going to show you is how to take this off without breaking the bones, because generally sometimes you will see that they can be a little bit brittle. So what I'm going to do is just take my knife, and right at the very base there, I'm going to run my chef's knife around there, just breaking up that skin. From there, what we're going to do is pull it off. And it comes away lovely and clean. That's great for presentation in any dish. So again, turn it round the other side, take your knife round the base there, and just break up that skin and that meat that's around the outside. From there, literally just give it a bit of a pull away, and then just pull it off, and it should just come away. Hopefully, if it's a bit tight, you can just go through the knuckle. Okay, simple as that. Nice and clean. So we've got 2 wings and 2 legs. What we need to do now is break down this carcass. This will be classified as a crown. So any bird such as turkey or chicken, you have the crown, which is just the breast meat with the legs removed. Now, as you can see, you've got this natural line here where the breastbone runs down here. What you want to do is with your knife is about halfway along there, we're going to take this winglet off. So we make an incision down here, keep going down, and as you go down, you can just see here, that is where the joint is on that winglet. We want to keep that bone on the end there, again for presentation. You shouldn't have to force this. So what you'll do is you'll just look for that gap, and I'm not chopping, as you can see, straight through, okay? And that's your winglet that you have there. And again, you'll do the same, exactly the same the other side. So halfway along, straight through, take your knife all the way down. And as you're doing it all the way down, you will see that gap there of that bone where that joint is. No hacking, no chopping, there is no need for this. Okay, so we've got the two winglets there and they're both even portions, same size portions as well. Again, that is vitally important because obviously we've got to make sure that those customers get even sized portions. And what we are left with then is the rest of the breast. So I'm going to ask you just to turn it up here and we're going to cut through here. And again, not too hard, we've got the ribs here, straight through. And this is where a little bit of force is needed. And this is where, when talking about the knives, we've got the heel and the toe, we're going to be using the heel where we do the chopping. So from there, straight through, either side, and break that down. We've got the neck here as well, so we go either side of the neck, straight through, straight through. And we've got a little bit of rib cage left on there. We'll just trim that up. There we go, absolutely beautiful. This, the carcass itself, what I'm going to do is, nothing is wasted in our industry. So we're going to cut that into 3. And you will use this, and use the heel of your hand, for chicken stock. Okay, nothing ever gets wasted. So we'll keep that for stock. Now this piece of breast that you have left here, what we're going to do is when we portion this up, is go halfway, even sized portions. We'll trim that a little bit, just take that bit of fat off, and possibly a little bit there. Halfway, and you will meet bone. As soon as you've met that bone, just a little tap, and where we go. We've got 2 lovely even sized portions of breast there for you, okay? So what we have there is 2 breasts, 2 pieces of breast, another breast here. And what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to tidy that bone up there where I've got that little bit of extra meat that's left on there. What I'll do is I'll use the heel of this knife, trim it up. Okay, that's what we have left there. Now we're left with the legs. So what we want to do with these is we're going to take the thigh and the drumstick off. Okay, everybody's had a drumstick at a buffet. So what we'll do is we need to remove these. Now there's a joint here as well. If I give you a tip on this, if you open this out, and you can see here, there's a slight line there as well, okay? And you can feel it. So what we do as chefs, we need to feel with our fingers as well and know where to cut. There's another little tip I can give you as well. If you close it up, like so, what it'll do is that will give you a natural line to put your knife in as well. And follow that, and it will go straight the way through. So without hacking, all we need to do is take the knife, find that joint, okay, straight through, and no hacking at all. We don't need to. There we go. Oh, straight through. We've got that lovely drumstick and that lovely thigh. Once we've done that, what we need to do is just trim off any excess fat that could potentially be there, like so. And then what we have is, we have this bone sticking out here. It's naturally cleaned itself a little bit. So what we're going to do is just pull some of that meat back. Take the heel of our knife. Find it on the board. 1 tap. Job done. And we've got a lovely chicken thigh there. And then from this one again, if we do it the other way around, and this is what we call the bridge method of slicing. From there, over the top, I'm not going to cut myself, my fingers are out the way, straight through. How easy was that? So again, 2 drumsticks, 2 thighs. Look for that bone there, have a little trim round it. Remember, only 1 knife on the board. Straight down, scrape your boning knife along there. And then with the heel of the knife, just take off that knuckle bit there. Job done. Trim it up. Obviously it's all about presentation. So we've got a bit of excess skin there. And then we've got two lovely thighs. And what you can do now is, on the drumstick, again, we could leave that on, but we want to present it to the customer just that little bit better. So again, what we'll do is, we'll take that knuckle off where it's been left there. Cut round, very similar to what we did on the wing. Okay. Some chefs will take these out. These are the tendons that make the claws move in the chicken. If you've got a good pair of pliers, they will actually pull out as well, but we're just going to trim these off for today. So we'll scrape away that bone. Clean that bone up, far better for presentation. And from there, take the heel of the knife, always the heel. One tap. Job done. And you've got a lovely drumstick there, which is nicely presented. Again, I'll show you again one more time. Round. Clean it away. Again, if there are any tendons there, you can actually see if you can pull them out or cut them. There we go, job done. Nice clean bone. Take your knife, not steel, through that, on the board, heel, never the toe, straight through. That one went on the floor. Pick that up later. So there we have two drumsticks, two thighs. Again, if these need trimming up, have a little trim on them as well. It's all about the presentation. Job done. Again here as well. Spread that skin out. Let's have a look at it. Cut off any excess fat. There. Two breasts. And then we have the winglets, which are left over there. Winglets, we always know, are very good for buffalo wings. I'm sure you've all had those as well. Again, they can also be used in stock as well. We can roast them off and do a nice brown chicken stock. And if you're serving this to the customer, what the customer would expect would be, let's say, a piece of breast. So you've got your dark meat and you've got your breast. The dark meat in the chicken is the legs. That's all the muscle. That's where it's been working and running around the yard and so on. That is where the flavour is, all in that muscle. So this is where you would portion them up so they get a piece of dark and a little bit of white each as well. And that's a chicken cut for sauté.